Welcome back to Virtual Reality Game Dev Ed. This is the 6th tutorial for our friend Sky on using MakeHuman in Blender. Okay. Excuse me, for making clothes in Blender. Okay. Next thing we have to do here, I'm going to show you a different way to add our modifier to this. A to select everything. If you press the spacebar, that brings up a nice little search tool for you. If you know that a tool exists here but you can't find where it is, easiest way to do is just search for it. Now I showed everyone where the solidify tool is, but we can just go ahead and use it like this, and I'm going to show you the difference real quick. The main thing that we need to edit and change on this is the thickness. And the nice thing about this is it automatically just brings up only the thickness in our tool options over here. Okay, so we want to set this about the same as what we made our underwear, so 0.05. You see it automatically added quite a bit of thickness there. A to deselect, A to select everything. Look at that, isn't that nice? Now we have a nice solid shirt model. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do with this shirt is go ahead and add our subsurface modifier. So come back under modifiers and add our subdivision surface modifier. And how much do we want to do this? Let's check. Go ahead and jump it up 5 times. Go back out to object mode. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, that's pretty realistic, huh? Now again, these creases are made because I had a whole bunch of extra cuts before, and that's actually something that I do want for clothes. That's something you definitely want for clothes. So that's good. Okay. So that's decent little tank top. Okay. So jump your view back down to say like 2, but make sure your render is on 5. Now again, I'm not going to apply this modifier because I want to be able to change and edit my original mesh if I need to later on. However, it's there, it's ready to go. So that's the end of that little model. For now, we're going to come back to it and UV map it once it's already on the model. But first thing, I have to show you how to put clothes on a model. So I'm going to use a mail for that. So go ahead and save this file. Close it. Now for this one, I'm actually going to use 2.57 because I'm going to cheat a little here. One thing about modeling in Blender, you really don't want to always have to create models from scratch like that. It really takes a lot of time, a lot of extra work and whatnot, so we want to do something a little different. I'm going to go ahead and select everything here. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and leave the camera and light there just in case I want to use them later. Just delete my cube out of here. First thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to borrow a model for a pair of pants that we already have. And for me, that happens to be on an original MakeHuman file from the MakeHuman stable release. So if you want to use this, go ahead and open your MakeHuman model up. Okay. Now the only thing we actually want over here, the only thing we want to keep is the pants. So over in your outliner, first thing we want to do, well, we'll come back to the custom shapes. The very first thing we want to do is actually delete this out of there. Okay? Now we can go ahead and delete our Man 1 mesh. Excuse me, everyone. And then our sweater mesh as well. I'm not going to use this in this little file. I just want the pants. Okay? Now if you delete this custom shape here, you'll see a bunch of other custom shapes that come with the Make Human model. Now these custom shapes are actually if you try to look for them in your file, you're not going to find them. They're in the file, but they're not you can't see them. They don't come up. So if I were to just try to hit A and select everything and delete them, all of these things are still going to be there. So you have to actually manually go through and delete all of these. These are special objects that were created by Make Human in order to have the, oops, Control Z, I do want that one. In order to be able to have that mesh that we saw earlier. The Make Human mesh. So delete all of those out of your scene. So the only thing that's left is your genes. Now we want to select those genes. We actually have a couple modifiers on it already that we're going to want to pull off. Okay. So go ahead and X out the armature modifier. Go ahead and X out your subdivision surface modifier. And go ahead and X out your shrink wrap. Now that shrink wrap's what we're going to do to actually put these pants back on the model. But first thing we want to do is actually come into it and change it a little bit. I want to make it more like jeans. I want to cut the front and put a little zipper on it and put some pockets on it. Okay? So hit tab on your keyboard. Actually, you know what? I do want to open this up. Now that I have this file right, it's ready to use. I'm going to go ahead and save as. Okay? Now I'm going to save this as, save it as whatever you want. This is my clothes, jeans. Okay, press enter and it'll automatically add your .blend back to it and save file as. Now go ahead and close 2.57 and open up 2.62. And go ahead and file, open recent, and didn't come up yet, so we want to just open it straight, and there it is. Now it'll come up under open recent for 2.62 as well. And we have all of our new features that have been added that we can work with here on our jeans. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is actually jump into edit mode. Okay, and we'll want to look at our model, see how it looks. Okay, go into vertice mode, A to deselect everything. Select these center vertices here. Well, I'm going to make this solid too, actually. So I want to select all of these vertices around here real quick. And go ahead and delete these out Those just kind of make it look solid, and they're just going to get in the way for now. So go ahead and click delete and delete those vertices. Okay. Now come back in and select these vertices again. Now we want to well, you know what? Let's actually do it like this. Let's go into faces mode and select these front faces. And go ahead and just delete all of these. Delete the whole face. Alright. Now we want to quickly recreate the bottom part of this. So put a triangle back there. Press F. F there. And we can also have a triangle back here. That's fine. Press F there. And now we want to create another little triangle here. Press F over there. And F over here. Okay. Now we actually want to pull these out differently. We want to create some new vertices that we can work with. Okay. So this is going to be where our zipper fly is going to be. Actually, yes, we don't want those faces. They're going to be they're not quite at the right angle. So you can delete those back out. First thing we want to do, we want to come to edge mode here, and we want to extrude this along the x-axis, okay, kind of towards the middle. So E, X, and pull that straight over a bit, okay. Now we want to move the bottom of it over a bit, so it's about line up straight. Okay, that looks fine for now. I actually want to pull the top one out a little bit. There, that's fine. Do the same thing over here. You can just select both of these. You don't have to go straight into Control Z. Straight into vertice mode. We want to E, X, pull that out. I want to be facing the front, so let me hit 1 on my number pad, make sure I'm facing front, so I move it about to the same place as that. EX, move it out about the same place as that. Then select just this bottom one, move it over. I have it off just a little bit. That's what we want. Now I want to come up to 7 on your number pad, home to center your object, zoom back in towards the front of here, select this top vertice, and move it out to about the same place your other one is. My bottom one's not quite moved over enough. Okay. So that looks close enough. Alright. Now we can come in here and select these 3 and create another face there. And then create another face there. Alright. So now we have just a small little hole for where we are going to put on our zipper fly looking device. Okay, so I'm about out of time for this video, so that's where we're going to come back. Alright, I will see you all again soon.